These two videos are going to be a MAP DCCD install. I've broken it. I'm going to break it into two videos. Obviously, I'm recording this afterwards, but I'm going to do one video, which is going to be the pre-wiring. So getting everything wired up under here so that you're ready to attach it to the unit. And then the second video is going to be the actual install into the unit and the wire testing and the actual like plug it into a laptop and stuff like that. Enjoy. Here is the instructions, the official instructions at least. So the ones I've got with the dots here, these are going to be the ones that I am going to actually connect. So these are going to be on the main one right there. So it gets its power from the iWire cable basically, and then you've got these on the grounds. The high current ground is going to go onto like the chassis or where the transmission grounds to. And then there's another ground here, the low current ground. I've seen people put this into the ECU on cables that turn out to be a chassis body ground as well. I guess it doesn't break anything, but I'm going to change it up from what I've seen other videos do. And I'm going to use a true signal ground for this one. And so I'll show you. So these are the ones we're going to connect. Some of these can be at the ECU. Some of these can be at the sensor itself, like the brake pedal and stuff like that. And the speed sensor I'm going to grab from the gauge cluster because that's where it is. It doesn't get dropped down to the ECU in a traditional form. So I'm going to show you now how to look at the Subaru document to map these to ports. There are people that give you wire combinations and stuff like that, like colors and stuff and pins, and you have to use that with a grain of salt because depending on your year and your generation and model and everything, it can change. So be careful when you look at just colors. It probably will work if you've got like the same year or very close, but I will show you how to use the document and go through that and to map it a little bit more accurately. Here's the document you're going to want to have to do this right. So you pretty much just want to do a Google search for your year WRX or STI, you should be able to work to, service manual, and you should get this website right here. Find your model and download it. And you should hopefully it matches pretty close to what mine does. And I'm going to show you how to find the information regardless. But here is where you get the document that I'm going to be referencing. Here's the starting point. So this is a big document. It's got thousands of pages. So you want to search for engine control ECM IO signal. Basically search just for this whole string and you should get dropped into this page here. So this is going to be the actual connectors that are on your ECU. 134 is the one furthest back towards the rear of the car. So the ECU kind of sits at a 45-degree angle. 134 is the bottom, and it goes up from there. So here are the connectors, and you can see the actual pins and each connector. And then if you scroll down, you'll see the mapping for your car, what they actually do. In most cases, it's probably the same. It doesn't change a whole lot, but I think as the years get newer, it's going to probably change a lot more. So this is how you find this diagram right here, which is kind of important. This is one you reference a lot, and this is how you find it. You find it with the engine control IO signal, which we will reference again. And I will show you the next one, which is going to be where the dashboard stuff is. For the gauge dashboard cluster, you want to search for combination meter system. You'll get a decent amount of hits. It's got a bunch of different places it's referenced, but you want to go down pretty far. I'm on page 3200 basically. So scroll down until you find the wiring diagram hit off of it. Without S-drive is a regular WRX, which is going to be my car. And then with S-drive is going to be the STI dash cluster because they're a little bit different. So here's where we're going to reference the gauge cluster on how to map some of our inputs back. So this one you can kind of scroll down and you'll see the wiring diagrams and all this stuff. And I'll show you how I found the reference points for each thing. We're going to start with the signal ground. So I'm going to pull off of the throttle position sensor, signal ground, since I'm also going to be reading the value from it. So I've read on Naziok or whatever, or take that with a grain of salt. that's a good one to use since you're going to be using the positive side of it anyways. So here we go. We've got the signal ground right here. It's going to be B13429. We look at the reference point here. Here's B134, 29 is right there, which means when I pull that connector, I'm going to go to the bottom row 1 over, and that's going to be my wire. Now for the throttle position sensor. So this is different than the accelerator position sensor because those don't always match depending on what the car is doing. So if you watched my auto blip, I will have already tapped into that, but we're not using that. We're going to use the TPS sensor, which is called electronic throttle. Obviously, we want the main because it's basically 0 to 4 volts. This one's a little bit different, but these are, redundancies basically, right? I'm gonna use the main, which is gonna be B134, pin 18. We come over here. Here's B134 again, our good friend. And I look at port 18, it's right there. Farthest to the right, 2 down, basically. Here is the ECU. Obviously, I've got the connectors disconnected. Here's the bottom one, second, third, fourth, so 134, 5, 6, 7. So we're looking at B134. Obviously, I've got these pre-connected here. So here it is, right here. Here's pin 18, all the way to the right, all the way down, up 1, right? There's a white connector right there. Again, it may not be white in your case, but that is going to be port pin 18. And then we also need to get the other pin, which is the second over from the bottom. So there's the bottom. 1 over is that green and, I don't know, was that yellow? Green and yellow one. So I've got that one tapped as well. There's my ground, which is my throttle position sensor ground, port 32, 33, whatever I just said. Trust me. Here is my throttle position sensor right there, which is the white wire on pin 18. So right there, there's my signal ground and my TPS sensor mapped to that connector right there. And that's how I obtained which pins I need for that. Now we're going to go to RPM. So RPM is referenced as engine speed in most documentation here. You look back on our pinout diagram, engine speed is B135, pin 15. We go over here, here's B135, there's pin 15. It's going to be second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So kind of lied to you earlier about that other one where you're actually looking at the gauge cluster. That one does help, but when we're trying to verify stuff off the gauge cluster, especially with RPM, because a lot of people pull that off the cluster itself, I am actually grabbing it from the ECU. So here's how I confirmed that 15 is what people reference with the ECU. I'm going to search for engine electrical system. I'm going to get a lot of hits, right? I got 50 hits on there. Scroll around and you'll eventually see, I can't give you a better search because tachometer and all this stuff shows up everywhere. You want to see this one. This is obviously the gauge cluster and stuff like that. And what you can see down here is right here, this is, believe it or not, this is where the tachometer path comes from. Now, I used AI to confirm it, and to be fair, it checks out. How it figured that out, who knows? But if you can see right here, here is B15, and if I scroll down here, B means B135, port 15, pin 15, pin 15, right? So this is confirming that 1, 5 on this pin is the one I'm looking for. And you can also see this sideways thing right here. I'm going to spin it. GRR. That means gray red. And that is the color of the connector, basically. So a lot of people go off colors. Again, this is how you can verify the color, is this thing tells me it instead of based on year, right? This is what it's telling me. So believe it or not, again, you can just go off of the other tab right here. This is pretty reliable, but here's a way to kind of confirm it. So we're back at the connectors here. Here's the second one, which is 135. I went 1 row down, 5 over. Hard to see, so if I can zoom in. You can see it right there. The gray and red cable right here feeds into pin 5. And that matches the colors, matches what the thing tells me to do. So I'm going to do it. So here's my tap onto the gray and red connector, which I've confirmed with the documentation is the wave form, aka pulses of engine speed, which is RPM. Next, we're going to do the brake. And again, some people tap this right off of the switch, but I actually can find it in my diagram here. So I'm going to go off of the ECU since I've got it in front of me. So you can see you've got 2. Again, it's a redundancy for a safety thing. If these don't agree, it will go and basically disable the accelerator pedal, basically. So you can see we got brake switch 1 here. When the pedal is pressed, you go to 0 volts. When it's released, you're at basically operating voltage, so basically counted 12. Brake switch 2, when the pedal is pressed, it then feeds 12 volts. When it's released, 0. This is the one we're going to use because the DCCD controller is expecting voltage when the brakes are pressed. So think about it when the lights turn on. So I'm going to go off brake switch 2, B136, pin 3, which should have voltage when pressed, 0 voltage when released. And we look over here, here's 136. I want pin 3, top row, 3 over from the right. So again, we're back at the connector. Here is 136, right? 4, 5, 6. Top row, 3 from the right. So it starts at 1, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be, for me, a green, light green wire. There's my brake, positive voltage, whatever you want to call it. There's my brake connector. So here's our speed sensor. It's a little bit different. It talks to lots of different things, which is why it doesn't just go to the ECU. You want to search for speedometer system. Look around. This one's actually, well, I'm a pretty far down. I don't know, I'm 2/3 the way down. In any case, you probably want to, SP01, whatever you want to call it. So speedometer system, look for the wiring diagram, obviously. What you'll do is you're going to find this page right here. This is going to show all the things that hook into it. I-10, in this case, is the dash cluster. So you look right here, you see the speedometer. This is the gauge. You can see right here, this goes to PG31 right here. You can see this says I-10, which means that's your speedometer connector. So we want pin 31. PG means it's pink and green. Here we go. 31 is right here. This is 10 over, bottom row, 10 over from the right as you are looking at the connector. So the connector plugs in. You're flipped it around. You're staring at it. The top, the pins or the little clips are up top. Bottom row, 10 over, should be our pink and green wire on pin 31. Okay, the gauge cluster is out, obviously. Here's our I-10 connector. There's the top with the things facing you. You want bottom row, 10 over, which I've counted. It's this one right here. Again, just counted, trust me on it. So here's 10 over, we'll go to the other side and then we'll match it up. Should be our pink and green wire. All right, kind of hard to do this with 2 hands here. You'll see the pink and green wire is right there. I've kind of pulled it out a little bit, but I can't really see. So there's our pink and green wire. That's what we're going to tap into for our speedometer. Also, fun fact, there's the other wire that we tapped at the ECU. So you could have done both up here, but whatever. So here's the one we're going to tap right here. Your pink and green, that looks pink and green. That is counted 10 over from the end. Boom. Bottom row, right there. Okay, and just like that, there is the pink and green wire. So now with all of these checked off, brake, speed, RPM, throttle, and our signal ground, our true signal ground, that should actually complete this. Here it is. That's where we're going to leave it now. So now I should actually be able to get all of these hooked into the posi taps. And then this will actually be ready to rock and roll. Okay, there is our speed sensor connected. Here is my brake, RPM, signal ground, and what was the last one? Oh yeah, throttle position sensor. Now we can work on the other connector, the 4-pin one. So I'm using an iWire DCCD kit because this is a WRX and it's going to have a STI 6-speed swap in it. So I need to adjust the cables anyways. So I bought a connector harness from iWire and they're pretty cool people apparently. So I would recommend checking them out no matter what. So this is the other half. This is going to plug into the transmission. So if you already have an STI set up, you probably have something similar to this, but you'll have to look at it basically. This is going to have 2 cables that go into the DCCD. So that's a 2-cable one. And it's going to have a power. So I'm actually getting my power from the transmission. And in other videos and other people, that's what they're tapping into the ignition pin on the ECU for power. So I am not going to do that. I am pulling from this cable here. This routes back through the fender. It goes down in here and then you peel this thing back. It's kind of a pain. This thing, just yank it off. There's a grommet in there. Stick a screwdriver in there to pop it free. Goes inside underneath the dashboards where I run the rest of my wires in here. So this is going to handle the DCCD and the 12-volt power. I'll feed it into the car. I'm going to make a little connector for it. And then the last one is going to be the ground. I'm going to actually try and tap into the body chassis ground at the OBD2 port with another tap. So I'm going to try that. And if it doesn't work, I'll have another part of the video here where I explain what I ended up having to do. We're down here into the car now at the OBD connector. So if you watched my other video about the auto blip, you will have seen this as well. One note is that when I was looking at this, I thought I tapped into the signal ground for the auto blip, which was probably what I should have done, but it turns out I actually tapped into the chassis ground, which is interesting. I don't know if that matters or not, but the thing works, so whatever. All right, in any case, we're looking at the connector here. You can see it's kind of facing downwards, but I've got that white wire tapped. That's 12 volts. And then I've got the black and white wire tapped. That is signal ground. That is chassis ground. The other one is the signal ground. So if you look at our connector output right here, the clip facing down, battery is the bottom right, chassis ground is up to the left, and then you have signal ground, and then you've got one of your CAN bus ones. So if we look at the connector here, it's facing down just like that. So my chassis ground should be on the left. And lo and behold, it's the one on the left. I'm going to tap into that one, and that will be my chassis ground. Well, I got it hooked up on there, and got the wires run back and come out to there. No idea if this is going to work or not, but we will find out once we get towards the end.